Hello?
Digital Cyber Cherries finally came out with an official gameplay trailer for Paranormal Tales, showcasing probably the best thing we've seen for months in the horror gaming scene using Unreal Engine 5. Guys, Paranormal Tales, for those of you new, is a PT-inspired next-generation or technically PC-exclusive body cam horror game based on found footage, feeling just like you're going through a VHS movie yourself. Here's how it looks, and worse, that it is releasing around October 2023.
Please, God, no.
When my grandmother died, she left me her house. My own place. No rent, no mortgage. I thought I'd won the lottery.
Been in the making for over a year now, finally resurfaced about 7 days ago in case you missed it. At number 2 we have Stray Souls. This is a story-heavy psychological survival horror game that was announced for PCs, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 4 as well. Being developed using Unreal Engine 5 and due by the end of the year. Guys, Stray Souls is set to combine Japanese survival horror elements with Western paranormal activity style, with a shift in components and some really heavy puzzles.
I can piece it together.
She was someone pretty high up in a secret society.
Martha says I'm not safe. That I should be prepared to defend myself in case those cultist nutbags come looking for me. I didn't win any lottery. I inherited a nightmare I can't wake up from. Every family's got secrets. But not like mine.
Daniel, no!
Jack Leary responding to Fort Solace alarm. Is everything okay over there?
Fort Solace, which is one of the most anticipated horror games of the year, is now finally coming over to PCs and the PlayStation 5 in fall 2023. We just got words that in addition to a new gameplay trailer showcasing the new engine, the psychological aspects of the game, and the space horror that the company has promised earlier. Fort Solace, in case you're new to, is a single-player third-person thriller set on the far side of Mars, never discovered before.
Someone was down there with me. I'm heading back up to the surface level now.
You need to get out of there now!
I'm still in there!
Jack! Answer me!
If you're into Lovecraftian horror games, well, we've got over here as the first work of its publishers developers as a psychological survival horror game, something over here called Pneumata. A somewhat detective style game where you're investigating some city site trying to figure out the disappearance of individuals in a certain area. See, this is a puzzle horror game to some portions and a first person shooter too. Check it out, game set to be coming to PCs only by the end of the year.
Is this thing on? Can anyone hear me? Shit. My name is Noah Quinn. I'm an ES diver from the Hydros research vessel.
Coming from the same studio behind Those Who Remain. At number 5, we have the company's most anticipated title from earlier this year, going by the name Beneath. Described by the developers as of precisely last month through its official trailer as a heart-pounding, mainly that's a thriller, first-person horror adventure game that takes place in the mysterious depth of the ocean. Here's the only trailer that came out with the game's release for PCs and the next generation of consoles only in 2024.
Inside the stations, Most of the scientists are dead. These things are not from this world. What I've seen here defies all logic. Nothing makes sense. There's no way out of here. I'll have to go down below. Assuming the place they mentioned really exists. If what they say is true, if this gets out, we're all in danger. If anyone's hearing this, send help. Now.
Bloober Team just came out with a new trailer and a release date of June 2023 for Layers of Fear, which is technically Layers of Fear 1 and 2 remake, formerly known as Layers of Fears. It's a series of Welsh horror adventure games that started life back in 2020 and are technically being developed with Unreal Engine 5 and made from the ground up. In any case, these games are coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles only around June.
No excuses, no accidents, no weakness. Just fire from the depths of your soul. Finish it.
chains are broken. I shall be freed of darkness.
About 10 days ago, we came across a brand new first-person survival horror coming from a well-known duo developers here going by the name Shame Legacy. Set in a 19th century forsaken cultist village, where you attempt to survive using stealth and escape mechanics by solving mostly puzzles to figure out a way out, learning the story as you go, and all while being chased by a sinister. Shame Legacy over here is set to come out for all consoles on May 30.
It's just a bad dream. There's nothing to be scared of.
Reaction it received. While the idea for this game has been stuck in our heads for years, and after several small advances with prototypes, we finally started to commit ourselves to a full-time production in 2019.
Ad infinitum, one of the longest awaited first-person survival horror games in the making, one with a focus on atmosphere and story about some post-traumatic events of a German World War soldier. I've actually mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, so this is just a quick reminder. The game is now finally coming over to PCs in both generation of consoles, not April anymore, but September this year, and this is how it looks. We actually did get another new trailer.
The sinister secrets that haunt this place, while unraveling the echoes of its past. The other reality confronts you with the gruesome scenes of World War I. You have to crawl through the muddy trenches of the east of France and explore various other places themed around the Great War, which you can explore in the final game.
In our game, you will have to solve intricate enigmas that challenge your troubled mind. A mind so distorted that it is completely losing its grip on reality.
Coming from the same people who brought around Phobia with an F, that's a PC horror game from June last year, Pulsatrix is having their next survival horror game these developers cooking ever since, then using Unreal Engine 5 and a rather atmospheric than a survival puzzle horror game here going by the name Project Ayla. Here's the first official gameplay trailer that was aired like a week ago that the game is releasing for PCs and the next generation of consoles only sometime next year. N-Out, on the other hand, announced roughly 2 months ago over here as a co-op 4-player horror game about this little town whose locals have been afraid of a old mansion where they believe to have been possessed by some evil maniac. Kind of like the TV series Something House, I forgot the name. You see, what happens here is then you become a member of a team of exorcists and eventually get to expel the evil, hopefully, from this mansion. Hence the title, In then Out. You go and then hopefully get out yourself. Anyway, this game's set to be coming out now on April 14 for PCs only. Leonardo Interactive went on and announced that Damer 1994 Sandcastle will now arrive on the PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox Series X and 1, also then PCs in about a few months from now. They actually released a new trailer for it, showcasing some more in-game footage that said this new Damer game will have the perfect mix of fierce and deadly enemies, hardcore action game mechanics, environmental puzzles, a chilling soundtrack, and plenty of exploration. See, Plug-in Digital, the publishers, just came up with the announcement trailer of a new horror game that they've been cooking a few months now, something going by the name Lempo. This is a survival psychological horror game based off of the Finnish mythology, which is not the first time we've been seeing that. I mean, I like to think it's actually a little bit in the same style of Amnesia games, but quite different. Anyway, this game is coming to PCs only in about a few months, and this is how it looks.
Reasons to navigate to clear waters and feel the dawning of a new day. I say, embrace it. Embrace the darkness. Let your feet sink into the rotten ground beneath you. Feed the worms of the earth with your sins and let them feast on your undeserving body. Don't fight it. Become one with it and fulfill the desires of the one true God. There is no way out, no way of fighting it. Just a slow and inevitable path to our doom, to our destiny.
A few months ago, Konami finally came out and announced the longest rumored Silent Hill remake, which not only was a thing all along the way for the past 3 years, but it is being co-developed by Blooper Team, that's actually the same folks behind the game, The Medium. Said Silent Hill 2, as it is referred to, not remake, is in development for PCs in the PlayStation 5, possibly Xbox consoles as well, I mean Xbox Series X probably, and due out early to mid this year. And it is being built with the use of Unreal Engine 5.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore. I'm ready.
There is a house in New Orleans.
Next up, we have over here perhaps the biggest surprise reveal of THQ Nordic's showcase this year, Alone in the Dark, which is a reimagining version of the first 3 games in the original series that were released first like 30 years ago. Now, they're being built from the ground up and set to be released early to mid next year. In case you missed it, this is a series of survival horror cult classic, mainly horror games.
Derceto isn't cursed or blessed. It's a battleground.
Maybe the Dark Man just likes it when you suffer.
Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees, wear the mask, praise his name!
This freaking island can wipe out all of humanity. And I'm here to make things right. But first, it's time for dinner.
Moving on, we've got over here, maybe not that new either, a game called Outbreak Island. This is a survival first-person detective-inspired game where you're just there to investigate the mysteries of an island and try to stay alive at any cost using only a camera. I mean, story is about some sort of experiment gone wrong on this island that has drove the island's population crazy. Anyway, this game is partially an open world and there is hints of zombies as well.
Oh, here we go. Let there be light. And here come the first customers. Enjoy your meal. So.
Something very bad is happening!
Guys, Grey Hill Incident, on the other hand, a pretty much brand new first-person survival horror game that was aired like 3 months ago. What was ever since described to be based on aliens and UFOs abductions, which is kind of a first for a horror game, or at least in a long time, is now set to be released for PCs, both generation of consoles, and due out June 9. This game does have open world game elements and it is currently looking like this.
I have a task for you.
Coming up behind that by World Makers, the one and only developers of Deceit 2017, that's a first-person horror free-to-play shooter, probably one of the best games released in that year. After more like a half a decade now, finally came out with the announcement of Deceit 2. They released a gameplay trailer that's about 30 seconds, and that the sequel is coming to PCs and to both generation of consoles sometime later this year.
Give me your blood, and I will show you. The innocent will not understand, but our benefactors demand tribute. Tributes paid with paranoia.
Is lying.
Tributes of torment. Tributes of suffering. The ritual of deceit has begun. Trust no one.
Sitting on Steam with over 6 chapters as a free demo since a month ago, we've got over here what is called, You Will Die Here Tonight, which is a survival zombie shooter top-down action, halfway like a Resident Evil, House of the Dead, and even a little bit of Alien shooter. The highlights of those games. Here's how it looks in case you missed. The game set to be coming out for PCs only sometime later this year.